Hello. So right now I'm gonna tell a really quick story about upsells, and I was thinking about the social media agency right now and how we're positioning ourselves and what can we do. Because like I said, I'm trying to grow my business that way in Calgary. It's everything's kind of mapped out, and I can really attack the marketplace and learn about the community. So I'm reading this book, and the entrepreneur, this is maybe 10 years ago, he tells a story about how he was 26 and he's going into the suit store to buy a suit because he needs to look good and he's starting a new business and all this stuff. And he was referred there by his buddy, right? And so there's typically a certain amount of goodwill that comes with going somewhere that you were referred to. Like you're both happy to help each other out. It's the nature of good business. As long as everybody, is happy to see each other and you're good standing people and easy to talk to, right? And you are acquainted and like one another. So he goes in and the owner, after talking with him, goes and picks out a suit for the entrepreneur. And he puts it on and he's like, this feels great. I look good. He's checking himself out. Probably he's looking great. And he looks down at the bottom of the sleeve and he pulls out the tag and it says $16,000. And he's like, and I should tell you, he came into the store with a budget for $500. And even to me, like $500 for a suit, I better be getting a good suit. And this was almost 10 years ago. So he's like, the blood starts rushing from his face. He's like, oh man. And he's like gasping. He's like, oh, this is my buddy's friend. I was referred here. Like he's helping me out, taking the time. And he feels weird. And that owner picked it up. And the business owner already had other options for him. He showed him a $16,000 suit first. I can bet you in the back of his mind, he's not going to buy a $16,000 suit. And this is where the model of upsells comes from. And it's using a pricing anchor. And it's not a traditional upsell where, would you like fries with that? You're at a steak restaurant. Would you like dessert? Like, it's not anything like that. This is price anchoring to make them pay a higher amount, more than they planned on. So he shows him other suits and he puts on, he likes it, and he's like, I don't even want to look at the price. And he looks and it says only $2,000. And he's like, it's literally 4 times what I expected to come in here to purchase, but it's not 16 grand, and I do like it. Like, maybe I'm wrong about the prices of these things. I don't know. So he buys it, and as well, he buys some socks or shirts to go with it. That was an extra like $300, and after taxes and everything, he spends like a few $1,000s when he came in to spend $500. So he ended up spending like 5-6 times what he was wanting to pay. And he left feeling happy, and he got the suit, and he's like trying to figure out how this happened. Well, why am I talking about this story? Well, it did occur to me that what we can do potentially is have our full high activity social media management plan, and where we literally take everything off of the customer's hands, customer being the business owner. We take everything off their hands, and that's what we do. We make it as perfect as possible, and we charge a high dollar amount. That's the premium pricing. $4,000, let's say. And we have to ask for that, or else they're not going to even have the chance of getting it. And then below that, we say, or if you don't need all that, or if they gasp and we can tell that we already know it's too much, they're about to say no, we would say, hey, actually, or we go there, we create all the content for you, we create all the captions, we create a bunch of photos with edits and all these things that match your brand, and we'll just send them to you. We won't manage your community or change the look of your social account or anything like that. We won't manage it or post for you, but we'll throw in some scheduling, we'll throw in these things for you, and we'll do that for only $6.99. And that compared to $4,000, they're like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. That's different than me going with this big approach to sell $699 worth of things, which I might have already actually only meant to sell for $500, but now we got an extra couple $100. Or that gives you more room for upsells down the road, which are, say, a month in, they go, hey, Would you like us to do this for you as well? Or would you like it to add in XYZ and we'll just use the same card? And the reason why you want to still ask for the big thing and you don't want to just say, hey, there's this big thing we have where we manage your social media for $4,000, but you don't want that. What you really want is this. Like, you have to still ask for that first thing, right? Because the only thing worse than, you know, losing a customer for a few $100 or, you know, something that you would have made more money on. The only thing worse than that is not selling somebody who would have bought something for a few $1,000s if you asked. So that's kind of the nature of what the discussion was about today, and how I'm gonna maybe try to incorporate it into M&C Creative. I got a couple things here. Like, when I'm reading these books, I literally just jot these notes down. Let's see if this will stay up without being too loud. But I'll just take notes. I'll write them down and jot them, and I will just then go through them later at the end of that kind of work session I have and say, okay, what changes do I want to make? Clear off my workspace a bit, put them in an area, and write them down on my calendar. I'm going to act on this at this point in time. And that's kind of what I do. Like, these little spurts of inspiration, not even inspiration, but I want to say I feel a little bit more aligned with the purity of what I'm trying to do, and certain doors are open for me. It definitely feels great, and I would encourage everyone to, you know, read and try to learn as much as you can, because you don't know what you don't know. And it may sound slightly vague or cliche or even a little bit hard to understand, but you truly do not know what's out there, and the only way to find out is to learn. And one of the best ways of learning that I would highly recommend is by reading, and that's what's worked for me. Okay, I hope everybody has a great rest of the day. Take care. Bye-bye.